this is our kind of create an accessible and option-focused workplace webinar with TechQuarters. So just going to run you through a little bit about us. The kind of webinar should run for about 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes, so not too much time. So to kind of kick it off, a little bit about us. We are a multiple Microsoft Gold competency partner. So we specialize in helping companies move to the Microsoft cloud. And we also do a few other things as well, so IT support and training around the Microsoft cloud as well. We're located in London, Vauxhall. We also have a global footprint, so we work with customers around the globe in helping them move to the Microsoft cloud. We obviously in 2017 we won the CRN Awards as the Cloud Services Provider of the Year, and very recently we've just won the UK Cloud Awards as the Cloud Visionary of the Year as well. So I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that we've been implementing the Microsoft Cloud since 2009, so for the past 10 years, which has kind of got us in a very good place with Microsoft. And again, we kind of know quite a lot about Office 365 and Microsoft Azure as well. We are a disability confident employer as well. So again, we're here to kind of talk about quite a lot of the accessibility features today and how we could help you become more accessible as an organization. So a little bit about our accessibility story. So we kind of started our journey with our 365 Cloud Academy training division, which was set up in 2015 to help people who just migrated to the Microsoft 365 Cloud to get trained on their new system using mainly video training. Really, in 2018, our CEO, Chris, was invited to a roundtable at Microsoft event, and their Chief Accessibility Officer, Jenny Lay-Fleury, was at this meeting, and Chris was kind of showing all the amazing accessibility features, some of which you will see today in the webinar, that are built into Microsoft 365. Chris thought that the Cloud Academy would be the perfect tool and service to help spread the word about these functions, which we'll kind of jump into later on in the kind of webinar. And then TechQuarters signed up to be a disability confident employer on the government scheme the same year. And we started creating some training videos and content around these great features that sit within Microsoft 365 and Windows 10 to help people with a disability in making the kind of most of all the tools and software they've got available to them. So some accessibility stats. So again, just to kind of start this off. So there's around about 1 billion plus people that have disabilities. So again, quite a large number out of 7 billion around the world. So that's 1 in 7 people have a disability of some form. 15% of these, that's 15% of the people around the world. And again, not all the disabilities that you might see, you may not be able to see these disabilities. So again, there's quite a few different sections that we can kind of go into today as well around some of the applications that Microsoft have developed to help with this as well. So again, 1 in 10 have access to the workplace technologies that they need. So that's of that 1 billion, 1 in 10 people. So again, you've got 900 million people out there that don't feel that they don't have the technology that they need to be able to work effectively. So we're just going to kind of jump into a bit of a video here. So this is a video that we've put together. This is sat inside one of our kind of portals and web apps, which we'll show you later on in the webinar. But I'll just kind of click play just to give you a bit of an idea of one of the features that Microsoft have developed. And again, this is a video that we've created that we can kind of help push out to users to make sure that they're kind of fully aware of what's available for them.
Open the Review tab. Press Check Accessibility, and you will see a sidebar with the inspection results.
So again, quite short and sweet, but really that's kind of what we're aiming for with these videos. So they're all kind of 10-15 second long videos, which just give you kind of short, sharp snippets just around the different features that are available, so that it will allow your users to be able to kind of make the most out of the software that they've got available to them. So I suppose when we're kind of talking about some of these features and software, we've kind of bounced around the word Microsoft 365. And really, Microsoft have got a lot of different plans out there in their Office 365 suite, but the Microsoft 365 plan is one that kind of pulls all of the kind of best features of all these different licenses together to kind of give you an all-round solution. So obviously you've got as kind of first pillar, the Office 365 side of things, which is probably what most people are used to. So you've got all your desktop apps in there, so Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. You've got all the online services alongside those. So you've got OneDrive, Skype for Business, or Microsoft Teams as it's now called, and SharePoint. And then you've got some business applications as well that go alongside that. So Microsoft Bookings, MailIQ. So again, some kind of applications that can help you in your business to grow in different ways, shapes, or forms. And then you've got Windows 10. So they've actually bundled Windows 10 into this package as well, which is good. So if you're one of those organizations out there that's looking at upgrading from Windows 7 to Windows 10, and you're not quite sure whether you want to kind of purchase Windows 10 on a one-off license, you can now actually just purchase this via Office 365 as a subscription and keep up to date with the latest version of Windows as you go through. So, and again, in Windows 10, a lot of these accessibility features are built into Windows 10 as well. So it's definitely worth having and will give you a kind of whole host of new accessibility features if you upgrade to Windows 10 as well. Again, you've got things like Windows Autopilot in there as well, which will help you on kind of larger rollouts to be able to kind of roll out on scale with any new devices that you're looking to bring out in the environment. Also, you've got the security that kind of underpins all of this as well. So when we can say EMS, that's Microsoft's Enterprise Mobility Suite, which basically gives you quite a few different things, but the main thing being the device management. So being able to manage all the devices in your environment. So with Intune, you'd be able to manage all your mobile phones, all of your actual Windows 10 devices, and being able to kind of selectively wipe company data off those devices as well. So again, all the kind of encryption features as well that sit around that. So you can encrypt emails, you can encrypt documents as well with EMS. So kind of a whole host of good security features there. So we've got a short video now as well that we're going to just play around, something that we've put together with some of our employees at TechQuarters, which shows some of the accessibility features and what we found to be quite useful internally here.
Hi, I'm Rez. Today I'm going to be talking about an app that I use both in my home life and my work life, and that is Microsoft Translator. I use Microsoft Translator at work to create subtitles for presentations, and then I use Translator at home to communicate with my nan, because growing up I forgot how to speak Bengali, so overall I think it's a great app and it's easy to use. So I'm going to show you how to use a Translator app. So all I do is open the app, put in the language I want to translate to, then type the text that I want to say, and then click done, and it will translate for me. So that's how you use the app, and I hope that was useful. Shania Janya Dhanyabad.
Hi, my name is Phil. I'm the Business Development Manager here at TechQuarters. So I had a few issues around when I was eye strain looking at my computer all day, particularly with the white backgrounds and kind of high contrast colours. So I decided to optimise my PC and use the dark theme within Office 365 subscription. Works really well for me, keeps me engaged most of the day. And I also use another tool inside of 365 subscription and on my PC called the Nightlight tool. This basically has a blue light filter, which basically adapts the colours to be a little bit warmer and adjusts them so that basically at night time it makes it a little bit easier to see. Thanks for watching, guys. For anyone out there that uses a computer as much as I do day to day, I hope these tools work well for you.
Hey, I'm James. I'm a corporate account manager here at TechQuarters. I've recently started using a free tool in Office 365 called the Immersive Reader. It's really helped with kind of improving reading and writing and it's great for kind of any age or ability. Some of the main things I've started using it for are kind of the read aloud, the optimized font spacing, syllables, grammar comprehension. I'd recommend it really for anybody who think it may be of use, like myself, if you've got dyslexia or anything like that.
Yeah, so just some kind of good examples there of how we use that and some of the features within our organisation. So, a bit of food for thought there. And we've kind of put together just a couple of questions just to kind of, I suppose, spark a little bit of thought around, what is accessibility in the workplace? How are you dealing with this at the minute? So, question one. So, 1 in 6 people have a disability. So, what is your organisation doing to help people with a disability perform on a day-to-day basis? So here we're kind of asking you to think about day-to-day tasks, not recruitment process or physical office layout, for example. So really, we're looking at do people have to declare their disability to get the help that they need? Do they have to use different technology to other people? Can all workers collaborate on the same platform, whether they need accessible features or not? And do you offer any kind of standardized training for new starters where people can learn about the accessibility features and functions, which might help them out and help them to be more efficient in their roles? So, how are you harnessing a flexible workforce to help people with a disability? So, what we've seen kind of often travel can be quite challenging for people with kind of varying disabilities. So, is there a need for people to be physically in the office? Can they work from home? Where there's maybe less kind of environmental pressure and stresses. Can they kind of work from home if if it's physically challenging getting to the office? And again, kind of by investing in good flexible working software, such video conferencing, different applications that can help people work from anywhere around the world, can mitigate some of the challenges that you might face around kind of having a flexible workforce. Obviously, Microsoft's got quite a few different technologies around this. So Microsoft Teams, I think we mentioned before. And then obviously they've got SharePoint, OneDrive, which are all kind of based in the cloud, and all the security that kind of underpins that. So that in the past it used to be flexible working would be a bit of a challenge because of the security side of things. That really now is no longer there. So how can we kind of encourage a more flexible workplace to help people who may have disabilities to be able to work from home as well in a kind of maybe a better environment? So I suppose what can we do to help? So we've got a free accessibility survey and report on all users. So again, we can kind of send that out to all your users, and I'll show you a little bit what that looks like in a few slides. But basically, it's an anonymous link that gets sent out to all your users. It's a couple of questions, 6 or 7 questions, which are submitted anonymously, and then kind of we get a few reports to show you afterwards. We also can provide Microsoft 365 licensing with a free AI training bot included. So kind of to help people get up to speed on all the latest accessibility features and also all the kind of latest applications in Office 365 as well. We also provide blended training plans on Microsoft 365, so whether that's classroom, webinar, or we've got a web app as well, which we'll show you in a second. And we also have full change management capabilities for Microsoft 365. So if you're looking at upgrading or maybe even just taking the kind of first step towards being in the cloud, we can help with that as well and the change management around that for all your employees. So as far as the web app goes, this is kind of what it looks like. So again, this is where we've got all our videos hosted. So you've got the 365 Cloud Academy there, a little bit of branding. We've got different filters along the top. You can search via product, filter, or tag, and literally click the search button, and it'll take you through. You can also just type in a keyword, and it'll find that for you as well. So as far as playlists go as well, we've put together different playlists. So if we've got someone who's hard of hearing, maybe you can literally click the drop down, click on the hearing playlist, and it'll bring up all the different videos that would be relevant for those accessibility features. And again, as you can see there, you've got little green ticks that'll tell you when you've actually watched that video or not. And as you can see as well, you can select the playlist as product, as I was saying before. We have put also, as you can see, some kind of just a bit more intuitive features in there as well, so that when you first sign in, you'll get prompted to just as a user, you know what all these do and what they are. So as far as the video filters go as well, we've obviously got, you can select by the product. So you can kind of click on the different products then. So if you go into, say, for example, a neurodiversity playlist, you can then select a product specifically in that playlist. So you can then hone down the list of, if you wanted to just search for all the videos that are in Word, for example, under neurodiversity, it will just literally bring those videos up instead of having to scroll through the whole host of other ones that we've got. So yeah, so that's a little bit around the portal itself. Fairly straightforward, very easy to use, which is what we were aiming for. And as you can see, all the videos are fairly short and concise as well. The accessibility survey report. So as I said before, this is an anonymous survey that we get sent out. It's just a link that gets sent through to you. You can send it through to your employees. Again, you can see the questions on the left-hand side. There are a couple of them. I think there's about 7 in total. Just multiple choice, very easy to do. And then again, what we do is we generate a report at the end of it, which is completely anonymous, which we can send through to obviously whoever's designated from your side to review that. And it will just give you an overview of where employees feel that they are in your organization and how aware they are of any kind of accessible features that you've got that are available to them. Thanks for joining. That's the end of the webinar. I really appreciate your time today. And if you've got any other questions or anything, feel free to get in touch. Cheers.